Last night on Raw, chaos reigned as the Usos faced off against Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed in a tag team match that left fans speechless. What was expected to be a competitive battle quickly turned into a brutal beatdown, with Breakker and Reed unleashing relentless power and aggression that overwhelmed the legendary Usos. This wasn't just a loss. It was a shocking dismantling of one of WWE's most iconic duos. The atmosphere was electric, filled with disbelief and raw emotion as the Usos struggled to keep up with their unstoppable opponents. This match didn't just shake the tag team division, it sent ripples through the entire WWE Universe, signaling a fierce new era of dominance. Fans are still buzzing, wondering what's next for the fallen champions. The Usos, more than just a tag team. Before we unpack the carnage, it's important to grasp just who the Usos are. Jey and Jimmy Uso are not just tag team wrestlers. They are a living legacy. Sons of the legendary Rikishi, members of the Bloodline faction that has dominated WWE for years, and multiple-time tag team champions, they have been the heartbeat of WWE's tag division. Their careers are a tapestry of hard-fought victories, heartbreaking losses, and moments of pure magic inside the squared circle. The Usos have carried the torch for tag team wrestling through eras of change, becoming synonymous with resilience, loyalty, and athletic excellence. Their bond as brothers, combined with their innovative in-ring style, has inspired countless fans and wrestlers alike. The Bloodline, WWE's dominant faction led by Roman Reigns, has relied heavily on the Usos as its backbone, the gatekeepers of the family legacy. That's why what happened last night isn't just a match result. It's a seismic shift, setting the stage. Tension in the air. From the moment the arena lights dimmed and the Usos made their entrance, there was a distinct energy, a tension thicker than usual. The crowd greeted Jey and Jimmy with a thunderous roar, chants echoing through the arena as they threw up their signature ones, rallying their loyal fans. But across the ring, the atmosphere was different. Bron Breakker, pacing like a caged predator, locked his steely gaze on the Usos, every step radiating menace. His intense focus was almost palpable, as if he was preparing to tear apart the very foundation of the Bloodline. Standing beside him was Bronson Reed, a towering behemoth with a look that spoke volumes. He wasn't there to entertain or compete. He was there to dominate, to destroy. The match begins, a devastating onslaught. The bell rang, but it quickly became clear this was no ordinary contest. From the very first seconds, Bron Breakker struck like a missile, charging at Jey Uso with a force that made the crowd gasp in horror. The impact echoed like a car crash, the kind of collision that changes everything in an instant. Jimmy rushed in to protect his brother, but that's when Bronson Reed made his presence felt. The sheer power Reed brought to the ring was staggering. Every move was heavy, every strike deliberate. This was not a battle of skill, but a campaign of annihilation. The referee, normally the guardian of order, found himself overwhelmed as Breakker and Reed unleashed a relentless barrage of brutal double-team tactics. It was clear that WWE had choreographed this chaos with precision, making sure every stomp, every slam, every punishing blow sent a message louder than words ever could. A message of brutality, not just victory. Here's the brutal truth. This wasn't about proving who was the better team. No, Breakker and Reed weren't looking to out-wrestle the Usos. This was personal. Every act of violence in the ring was designed to humiliate, to crush the myth of invincibility surrounding the Usos. When Jimmy went for his trademark super kick, a move that's been a symbol of their dominance, Reed absorbed it like it was nothing, his glare chilling. And then, without mercy, Reed crushed Jimmy with a devastating crossbody that left him gasping on the mat, clutching his ribs as the crowd looked on in stunned silence. This moment wasn't scripted entertainment. It felt raw, real, and dangerous. The tension in the arena was almost suffocating. The crushing finish, a new era begins. The climax of the match was less a wrestling move and more a symbolic execution. Braun Breaker hoisted Jey Uso high into the air in a gorilla press, shouting, "This is your bloodline!" before slamming him down with brutal force directly into Bronson Reed's tsunami splash. The impact shook the ring and sent a clear signal. The era of the Usos is under threat. The referee's count, 1, 2, 3, was almost an afterthought. The damage was done. The Usos lay broken, bloodied, humiliated. Meanwhile, Breaker and Reed stood tall, grinning like predators who had just tasted blood for the first time. Why this matters? The fallout and fan fury. The aftermath? Explosive. Fans flooded social media with outrage and disbelief. The Usos, the Bloodline's proud warriors, had been dismantled in a manner that many saw as a betrayal of their legacy. WWE's booking decision here is a bold, controversial one. The company chose to sacrifice the image of its most decorated tag team to build up two emerging forces. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, once prospects, are now unmistakably killers, men to be feared. But what about the Bloodline? If the Usos can be destroyed like this, what does that mean for Roman Reigns' empire? What does it signal about the dominance of the tribal chief himself? The psychological impact, breaking the Bloodline's backbone. The damage goes beyond physical pain. The psychological impact is profound. The Bloodline has always been a symbol of strength and unity in WWE. The Usos' downfall represents a crack in the armour, a vulnerability that could ripple through the faction. Backstage, cameras caught glimpses of a stunned Usos, their faces marked by disbelief and pain. The tension is palpable, not just among fans, but inside WWE itself. Every wrestler, every faction watching knows that the established order is under threat. The bigger picture? WWE's masterstroke or risky gamble? This moment is more than a match outcome, it's a statement. WWE is shaking up the tag team division and shifting the entire landscape. By elevating Breaker and Reed through such a ruthless act, WWE is igniting fresh rivalries and forcing every team to rethink their place in the hierarchy. It's storytelling at its most raw and powerful, a perfect storm of chaos, emotion, and anticipation. What's next? The war for revenge and redemption. The story isn't over by any means. This is the opening chapter in what promises to be a brutal war for the tag team throne. The Usos face a choice: fade away under the weight of humiliation, or rise like warriors, fueled by vengeance, to reclaim their legacy. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, must decide how to respond. Will he step in to protect his family, or will this crack in the Bloodline widen into a full-blown civil war? Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed, meanwhile, will enjoy their moment at the top, for now. But every king's reign invites challengers, and the road ahead is littered with danger. Conclusion: a night that changed WWE forever. Last night's match wasn't just a shocking upset. It was a seismic event that redefined the tag team division and sent shockwaves through the entire WWE Universe. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed emerged as forces of nature, while the Usos and the Bloodline face perhaps their darkest hour yet. Fans are divided, emotions are running high, and the WWE landscape has never looked more unpredictable. One thing is clear: the war has only just begun. And when the dust settles, legends will be made or broken. So buckle up, WWE Universe. The chaos has arrived, and it's going to be one hell of a ride.